We officially know 2 teams going to Worlds representing North America. We also know a team going home, and the gauntlet is set for this weekend to qualify our final team for Worlds. It is a big weekend for the LCS, and here's everything you need to know on the pit. Now, as you can probably tell, I am not home. I am at Myrtle Beach right now. I actually just wrapped up the World Amateur. I'm waiting to see how I finish, but I shot exactly how I wanted to on the final day. Overall, a very successful 4-day tournament. I would highly recommend it. I will do it again next year, even if it conflicts again with the summer playoffs. Kind of just is what it is. But I figured, why not make one more video on the beach for the pit? Because we have a in memoriam to cover for NRG, your official 6th place squad, which in hindsight, actually pretty stock standard for this squad. Now looking back on it, looking at this team's run in this team's tenure, they were a middle of the pack squad that overperformed for one singular split, and it was awesome because their overperformance was better than most North American teams end up doing. They were able to take a series off of G2. They were able to win the LCS title. I mean, that's like an overperformance of a lifetime for some of these guys. But unfortunately, this also means they will definitely not all be together next year. This squad has had more than enough time together to try and figure their stuff out, and for whatever reason the core is not working. Palafox have one of the biggest regressions of any player that we've seen in quite a while this past year. Dokla kind of returned to form. It was more of what we were expecting of him last year, even in like the regular season. FBI I think still looked really good. Contracts played really well this entire season, but he just didn't work well with this team, didn't mesh well. The reunion with FBI was not all it was hyped up to be, and hey, that's fine. We got some really good games and some really good memories out of this team. So what more can you really ask for at the end of the day? I mean, that's kind of just the nature of esports, is sometimes the run keeps going and sometimes it has to end. Watching contracts break down the other day was actually really sad, being honest. NRG very much had a chance to win that series. They didn't, but it's like, I got some flack on Twitter the other day for saying that like I really want to see his comeback succeed, and I still do. But I know people are like, oh, well, his comeback was like the NRG comeback. Nah, this guy is still playing incredibly well, and well enough to make sure that he is on a top team. Same thing for FBI. Like if I'm NRG, I'm keeping those 2 players and, you know, seeing what works from there. If Palafox can turn it around, maybe it was synergy issues. I don't know. But like when you're looking at top mid support, like they're the 3 roles that I'm looking at for NRG to clearly make upgrades to try and get better synergy and just make it work a little bit better. We praised the systems of NRG for a long period of time, including head coach Thinkard and Croissant, who's now their head of gaming over at NRG, or at least I think head of League of Legends operate. I don't know how they reorged it, but for whatever reason, you know, they came back down to earth, and it kind of sucks to see. But at the same time, I just want to say thank you, NRG, for your run. I don't know what the next year holds for these players, as contracts are going to be interesting and the negotiations are going to be wild as everybody restructures and we get an LLA team in, and, you know, you get that promo relegation team. Who knows? But like at a minimum, their run was fun to watch. Since I made this video last week, both All-Pro voting and Rookie of the Year awards have come out. Rookie of the Year being Masu. That's exactly how I voted. I know some 100 Thieves fans are going to be like, why didn't you vote for Sniper? It's like, because Masu was the better player that showed growth throughout the entire year. Sniper had very much a regression. I mean, even like excluding the series versus Team Liquid this past weekend where Sniper got his ass handed to him, and excluding the Dignitas series where he looked good. In summer, like 100 Thieves was a whole different team than in spring, and Sniper unfortunately was not playing at the same level that he did in spring, as best of threes did kind of expose him a little bit. He's still growing, he still has a ton of time, but if you're asking me who's the better rookie player right now, it's Masu. He looks like one of the top 80 carries in the league after a singular split in the league, without question. And I cannot wait to see how he does, because it seems like every time he goes internationally, every time that he goes to one of these events like EWC, he does better. He continues to improve time and time again, and that's like, how do you not get excited for that no matter what? Like, that's amazing. For All Pro, the teams were pretty much Team Liquid, C9, and FlyQuest, but with the jungler swap throughout. I, for the most part, agree with all that. Obviously, like, I don't think there was anybody that I included outside of the big 3 on my All Pro. How you order them was subjective for many people. For me, I did put C9's bot lane up there because it felt like C9 did have a very dominant regular season. Well, not dominant. They won quite a lot, and it felt like the way that they won was through 20-minute team fights that Vulcan would engage and find an incredible engage, and then Berserker would knock down the pins. So for that, I rewarded both of them whenever it felt like for Team Liquid. Yawn and Core JJ, I think, are like the best bot lane in terms of lane itself, but I felt like you kind of do dock some points whenever like the whole team is performing well. You want to reward individual players, in my mind, that are performing standout relative to their team. Point is, at the end of the day, I felt that Berserker and Vulcan were more vital to C9's wins and their consistency of winning versus Core JJ and Yawn, who by all means are incredible. But when the whole team's performing well, you're not as reliant on them. But either way, yeah, I mean, you could swap them up to first All-Pro, and it's perfectly fine. I can't remember any other standout picks. I'm sorry, it's been like a week and a half since I voted. I haven't checked it, and I'm just chilling at the beach. Now, for the two teams that have qualified to Worlds, you have both Team Liquid and FlyQuest. FlyQuest winning a pretty dominant series over Cloud9, basically 4-0, but C9 was able to take a game. Team Liquid 3-0 stomping 100 Thieves. If you want to see my reaction to that particular series and previewing 100 Thieves' run to possibly make it through the gauntlet, be sure to check out the episode of The Pit from Wednesday. But let's talk about Team Liquid and FlyQuest for a minute and address how do we think they're going to do at Worlds? Because I've seen it in the comments as like I start hyping up how I think both of these two teams can beat Europe. Both G2 and Fnatic and Mad Lions. I think both of them could beat all of Europe. But every time I bring up that, yeah, I'm excited for a North American team to go to the Worlds, people are like, oh, they don't stand a chance against Asian teams. It's like, I don't think people get that. Like, let's just worry about that problem when we get there. Like, we'll worry about them when it's time. For now, we just need to continue ramping up to beat Europe. That's what we need to do. And then after we beat Europe, yes, we'll worry about beating the 4 and 3 seeds out of China and out of Korea and go from there. But yes, I do have faith in these teams. And if your opinion is like you're jaded where it's like, I don't want to watch international play because I don't want to see us get stomped, I don't know what to tell you other than you're a North American fan. You have to believe in Hopium, and you have to believe that eventually like we will get our crack at them and we will get our chance and we will improve, because Team Liquid this year legitimately does give me 2016 TSM vibes. I hope they don't choke like 2016 TSM did, but 2016 TSM was one of the actual favorites of the tournament. I don't think Team Liquid's at that stat, but I do think a semifinal at Worlds is more than possible for them. For FlyQuest, like, it might be overreaching a bit to hope that they can get out of groups, sure, but like that's what you got to hope for with them. Team Liquid's like the one that kind of has like that level of expectation above and beyond. Whether it's C9 or 100 Thieves from there, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you just want to hope to get out of groups and put on our best performance. I don't care if we get slapped by the Asian teams. I'm going to watch them and cheer them regardless. And I hope that everybody else shares that same opinion. When we go international, it doesn't matter whether you're a fan of an individual team or not. You rep North America at all costs. You will be there supporting our teams all the way through. That's what being an NA diehard is. That's what being faithful to not CLG, to North America is for us. And that's what makes it fun. Let yourself live a little bit. Come on now. So with Team Liquid and FlyQuest already through the Worlds, they will be facing off against each other, which we have not seen since week 1 of the regular season due to how we always have the finals rematch. If you would have put us in a time capsule and said, hey, Team Liquid and FlyQuest made finals against each other again, we'd all probably look here and be like, yeah, that's fine. I mean, what's C9 doing? Oh, they changed top lanes? What's Fudge doing? Oh my god. Dude, chill. My wife is on social media. I'm curious to see if there's anything different with this matchup this time. In terms of the head-to-head, I do think that Masu and Busio can withstand Yawn and Core JJ's onslaught early on. Blippo is the one person that in theory should be able to step up to match Impact, who's currently in MVP level form in the jungle. Inspired when he's on is one of the best that we have. Umti, I think, is like he's getting the Xmithy award already, just like keeping the glue of everything else together, but not getting the praise that he probably deserves. And APA versus Quad is definitely APA favored right now. I think APA is just playing incredibly well. Dude knows his role, and imagine this point last year if you tried to tell a Team Liquid fan that APA would be carrying your squad pretty heavily and like be like one of the best, if not the best player on the team, other than Impact. Like, Impact is Impact. Yeah, I don't think anybody would have believed you, plain and simple. So do I favor Team Liquid in this? Yeah, I do. I'd like to see Team Liquid like solidly win, but I do want to see FlyQuest put up a challenge against them. I've been saying that for weeks now, that I want to see somebody fight. I want to see a close series, and I think that we can get that with FlyQuest and TL. I want this to go to 5 games so badly, because C9 versus FlyQuest failed to live up to the hype. Cloud9 fans were pissed off at me for saying, oh, I don't think that they're on TL's level, and guess what? FlyQuest freaking helped me prove that point, because they're not, but FlyQuest might be. So give me 5 games. Give me Team Liquid to win this one, and then them rematch in finals, and whoever takes it from there, I don't care, so long as they're both playing well. As for C9, will they be able to beat the winner of 100 Thieves versus Dignitas? Yeah. They probably should. Even as a 100 Thieves fan, I've been, by all means, I've been mocking C9 fans all week and just, playfully poking the bear the entire time. I'm well aware that they should win this. I'm well aware that they should probably win it handedly. I'm not dumb. I get it. I would just like to see 100 Thieves at least challenge them. I would like to see that series go to 5 games. Or if for some reason it is Dignitas, take them to 5 games. Make it fun, because clearly C9 ain't on the level of FlyQuest or TO, and that's fine. So the 3rd seed that we're sending, I'd rather personally send 100 Thieves to give like the quote-unquote young guns a try, even though Thanatos is still young. Jojo Pune is not like he's old, but like Jojo Pune, for whatever reason, always seems to be on teams that choke before they get to international play. So I don't know, maybe that can happen again. Maybe 100 Thieves can cause the upset, but it's highly unlikely. So anyways, that's it for me. That's it for the pit. Be sure to tune into the games that are starting literally today when this gets announced. Dignitas versus 100 Thieves. After that, Team Liquid FlyQuest on Saturday, and then the qualification match on Sunday. I'm looking forward to it. If 100 Thieves loses, make fun of me on social media, because I'm going to be very, very sad.